So you're dreaming of a home on the coast. You can already feel that ocean breeze, right? But what about the actual foundation you'll be living on? Well, in this explainer, we've boiled down all the expert advice to help you choose the perfect flooring, one that can actually handle all the sand, sun, and fun that comes with living by the sea.
Yeah, and it's so true, isn't it? As flooring contractor James Miller says, it's a dream come true. You picture the salty air, you hear the waves. It's this perfect, idyllic scene. And it's exactly why so many of us are drawn to the coast.
But here's the thing, that beautiful dream comes with a pretty tough reality check. See, the very things we love most about the beach, the water, the sand, the sun, they're basically in a constant battle with the inside of your home, and your floors are on the front line. All right, so what are the biggest challenges your floor is going to face? Let's break down its three main enemies. First up, and this one is relentless, is moisture. And we're not just talking about, wet towels and bathing suits after a swim. The air itself is just packed with humidity. And over time, that can cause the wrong kind of floor to swell, warp, and even grow mold. Then, of course, there's sand. Our source expert calls it nature's built-in sandpaper, and man, that is the perfect way to describe it. It gets tracked in on everything and everyone, and with every single step, it's just grinding away at your floor's finish, leaving it all scratched up and dull. And you can't forget the sun. I mean, those gorgeous big windows that give you those stunning ocean views, they're also letting in a constant flood of UV rays. And over time, all that sunlight can cause colors to fade and fade fast, leaving your floors looking kind of tired and washed out. Okay, enough with the problems. Let's talk about the solutions. Here are the top contenders for your beach house floor. Leading the pack is Luxury Vinyl Plank, or LVP. Our expert actually calls this the unsung hero of beach home flooring, and honestly, for very good reason. It's basically engineered to handle pretty much everything that coastal life can throw at it. So LVP is just incredibly well-rounded. First off, it's totally waterproof, so it defeats moisture right off the bat. It's also highly scratch-resistant, which means it can stand up to all that sand. And from a style perspective, it's a total chameleon. It can beautifully mimic those coastal looks, like driftwood or stone. But, and this is a big but, you cannot go cheap on this. A quality LVP has a thick wear layer and built-in UV protection. Without that, the sun's gonna win, and your floors will fade. And this piece of advice is so key. Don't step over dollars to pick up pennies. Spending a bit more on a quality brand with proper UV protection isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable for LVP in a beach house. It's the difference between a floor that lasts for years and one you're going to be replacing way too soon. All right, our next contender is a classic for a reason, porcelain and ceramic tile. I mean, this has been a go-to for coastal homes for decades, and that's because it's just so incredibly tough. The pros here are pretty obvious, right? Tile just laughs at water and sand. It's not going to warp, it's not going to scratch easily, and cleaning it is a breeze. But it's not perfect. It can feel really cold and hard under your feet, which might not be that cozy vibe you're going for. A simple fix there is just using some nice area rugs. And you do have to remember those grout lines will need regular cleaning to keep them from looking dingy. Now, for those of you who just love the look of wood, there's a compromise. Engineered hardwood. It's built with a core of layered plywood and then just a top layer of real hardwood, which makes it way more stable than solid wood in humid places. Still, our source calls it a fair weather friend. It's beautiful for sure, but you've got to take care of it. So let's just look at these side by side real quick. When it comes to water and sand, LVP and tile are the clear winners, both getting an excellent rating. Engineered hardwood, not so much. But it does win when it comes to that warm, natural feel under your feet. So it really just comes down to your priorities. LVP is the do-it-all, all-arounder, while engineered hardwood is probably best for places like bedrooms, where you won't have as much traffic or moisture. All right, we've seen the best options. Now let's flip the script and talk about the flooring you should absolutely positively avoid in a coastal home. Look, let's not beat around the bush here. Carpet is the #1 worst choice for a beach house. It might seem cozy at first, but it will quickly turn into a total nightmare. This quote really says it all. Carpet and beach living just do not mix. Think about it. Carpet is basically a trap. It holds on to sand, it holds on to moisture, and it holds on to odors. That whole combination creates the perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew. You're just left with a floor that's scratchy, damp, and smelly. No, thank you.
Next on the avoid list is solid hardwood. And look, its beauty is undeniable in a lot of homes, but the coast is just not one of them. It's a really, really risky bet against Mother Nature.
I love this analogy because it's so perfect. The constant high humidity in the air makes solid wood expand and contract over and over again, and that leads to warping, cupping, and these ugly gaps forming between the boards. It's a battle you're just not going to win.
So you've picked a durable material. Awesome. Now, how do you get that perfect coastal aesthetic? Well, let's dive into the details, because that's where the magic happens. Here's your style checklist. First, choose light tones. Think sandy beiges or driftwood grays. They don't just look the part, they're also super practical for hiding sand. Second, go for matte finishes instead of glossy ones. They hide scratches better, and they're less slippery. Also, try using larger planks or tiles. That means fewer seams or grout lines for sand to get stuck in. And finally, if you can, use similar flooring to create a really nice, seamless flow from your indoor spaces out to your patio or deck.
So after weighing all the enemies, the contenders, and the style tips, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all boil down to? Here it is. This is the golden rule. Beach living is about relaxing, about enjoying where you are. Your floor should support that lifestyle. It should make your life easier, not create constant stress and extra work. It absolutely has to be functional, first and foremost.
Ultimately, your floor is the foundation of your home. So as you plan your own little coastal escape, you've got to ask yourself this. What foundation are you going to build that dream on? One that's constantly at risk, or one that's as strong and resilient as the coastline itself?